There are many donors who want to donate their livers for transplantation, but they're unable to be used because for one reason or another the quality is so poor. Probably over 50,000 people a year die of liver disease. There are currently about 16,000 people on the wait list for a liver transplant, but 15 to 20% of them will die because there are not livers available for them.
So liver preservation right now is just putting the liver basically in a box of ice. It allows us to transplant these pristine livers, but it doesn't let us transplant livers that are of a more marginal quality. What we can do is recover livers that are currently not good enough for use immediately, put them in machine perfusion systems and recover them to a transplantable state.
The amazing thing about the liver is that it can recover and regenerate. And so our lab is looking at whether we can help the liver to recover and get to become transplantable before we need to put it into the recipient.
Machine perfusion is a dynamic preservation method where we pump a nutrient and oxygen-rich solution through the organ. So rather than suppressing the liver's function, we're actually trying to support it and even recover some of the injury that it sustained during the preservation period.
What organomatics allows you is to take an organ, mimic what the body does with the organ, and keep it in a healthy and fresh and transplantable state, and further allow the organ to regenerate itself, rejuvenate itself, and even if it has some injury, to recover from that injury so that we can use that organ for transplantation.
And right now we have very crude criteria for determining whether a liver will be of good quality. Whenever we talk about whether this liver is going to do well in a recipient or not, in the conversations that we have with them, we're always talking about percentages and chances. And one of the things that machine perfusion offers us is to get actual data from how the liver is performing on the machine that will tell us how it's going to perform once we put it into the patient.
Organometrics is the science and art of looking at the data of an organ and telling how healthy and viable and functional it is. What we do is statistical control of the organ. Look at what it is performing. Metabolic activity, oxygen uptake, basically, is it doing what it's supposed to do in the body or not? We can then compare this to a healthy organ or a diseased organ and say, this particular organ is good for transplantation or it will fail after transplantation.
So keeping the liver alive using organomatics and the predictive capabilities of organometrics will combined contribute to being able to use many more organs for transplantation, reducing waiting lists, and treating many more patients with end-stage liver disease.
We do about 6,000 transplants a year nationally, so potentially, 8 to 12,000 instead of 6. And that would certainly take care of death on the wait list.